Mr. Rizal Benaini, Chief Executive Officer of SME Corporation Malaysia, distinguished session moderators and panelists, officials from APEC SME Working Group, APEC Secretariat, United Nations Economic and Social Commission for Asia and the Pacific, UNSCAP, Inclusive Business Action Network, IBAN, delegates and participants from APEC member economies, ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. On behalf of the host economy, Malaysia, I would like to join Mr. Rizal Benaini in welcoming the presence of all delegates and participants to the APEC workshop on inclusive business, charting the path for shared prosperity through inclusivity, organised by the Ministry of Entrepreneur and Cooperative Development, MECD Malaysia, via its agency, SME Corporation Malaysia. I am happy to note that today's workshop has been able to bring together officials from both the government and non-government sectors, including representatives of business entities, especially those who advocate the implementation of inclusive business, IB, across the APEC region. This truly depicts the spirit of regional collaboration and, most importantly, very reflective of APEC's notion of economic empowerment through entrepreneurship. Ladies and gentlemen, the establishment of the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation, or APEC, as a regional economic cooperation in 1989 to leverage on the growing interdependency of regional value chain within the Asia-Pacific has resulted in the contribution of almost 50% to global trade and 60% to global gross domestic product, GDP. In the context of the Malaysian economy, APEC is significantly important as this region accounts for more than 80% of our total trade and more than 70% of our foreign direct investment, FDI, in the manufacturing sector. Apart from trade and investment, APEC has vastly contributed to capacity building throughout the region. APEC's efforts to achieve sustainable growth and equitable development in the Asia-Pacific region have traditionally been advanced through capacity building activities, including in the areas of entrepreneur and MSME development. In this instance, the SME development agenda is accorded high priority in APEC, as manifested by the 29th APEC Economic Leaders Meeting held recently on 18 to 19 November 2022 in Thailand. The 2022 Leaders' Declaration issued affirms APEC leaders' long-standing commitment to promote strong, balanced, secure, sustainable and inclusive growth. This is in addition to the leaders' commitment to realize the APEC Putrajaya vision of an open, dynamic, resilient and peaceful Asia-Pacific community by the year 2040 for the prosperity of all our people and future generations. Remaining committed to APEC's mission and its voluntary, non-binding and consensus-building principles, I am optimistic that we shall achieve this vision by pursuing three economic drivers. Firstly, trade and investment. Secondly, innovation and digitalization. And thirdly, strong, balanced, secure, sustainable and inclusive growth. Ladies and gentlemen, in this regard, this two-day workshop and inclusive business is in tandem and indirectly contributing to the third economic driver, which is strong, balanced, secure, sustainable and inclusive growth. This is one of the many concurrent efforts that the government has been working on to ensure that the Asia-Pacific region is resilient to shocks, crises, pandemics and other emergencies. Given the continued efforts of economies to respond and mitigate the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic, APEC leaders are determined to achieve a post-COVID-19 economic recovery and will reinforce systems to prepare for future crises. Therefore, it is crucial that we foster quality growth that brings palpable benefits and greater health and well-being to all, including the MSMEs, women and others with untapped economic potential, especially the inclusive community. In order to achieve this, I believe that it is crucial to have more industry players across APEC to adopt the inclusive business model. This will contribute to intensifying inclusive human resource development as well as economic and technical cooperation to better equip our people with the skills and knowledge that may result in greater economic efficiency and inclusivity in the future. Ladies and gentlemen, the idea of social inclusion has been a guiding principle for Malaysia since its independence in 1957. The commitment for inclusiveness is embodied in our national development agenda to ensure equitable opportunities and improve well-being for all Malaysians regardless of gender, ethnicity, socio-economic status and geographical location. This is reflected through the Shared Prosperity Vision 2030, which sets a new economic direction to drive sustainable and inclusive growth. To complement this vision, the National Entrepreneurship Policy 2030 features the short-term and the long-term strategies to empower the vulnerable groups by nurturing a culture of entrepreneurship. To support this vision and policy, the 12th Malaysia Plan 2021-2025 has been positioned as the game changer to address poverty and growth disparities amongst the bottom 40% in household income group or B40, as the plan is poised to rebuild the economy towards achieving a prosperous, inclusive and sustainable Malaysia. Embedded within the 12th Malaysia Plan lies the driving role of entrepreneurship to enhance inclusive growth and improve the well-being of nations. Beside this, Malaysia views inclusive business as key towards rebuilding a better and stronger economy. Therefore, the Malaysian government is promoting IB as a means for addressing the needs of the B40 group at scale. IB too has been underlined as a strategy to encourage the B40s, MSMEs and social enterprises to participate in the supply chain. Having said that, we must bear in mind that the government can only facilitate and coordinate various initiatives such as this workshop on inclusive business in the effort to create a more conducive ecosystem for entrepreneurs. More importantly, in order to realize meaningful economic impact, active involvement and participation of the private sector is imperative. With that hope, I believe that this workshop will help all of us to identify gaps, opportunities and strategies for IB in order to strengthen the fundamentals of your respective economies and companies while integrating the inclusive community into your business supply chain or value chain. Ladies and gentlemen, before I conclude, I would like to thank the APEC SME Working Group, APEC Secretariat, UNSCAP, IBAN and all parties involved for your cooperation and contribution towards making this workshop a success. My gratitude goes to our distinguished moderators and panelists who will be imparting their invaluable knowledge and experience throughout this two-day workshop. To all participants attending online, I hope you will actively participate in all the sessions to make the most of the presence of our experienced moderators and speakers throughout this two-day workshop. I look forward to a positive outcome from the workshop and wish everyone all the best. Thank you.